Thank you once again for joining. We are now going to study the important points regarding sensitivity and specificity. Very high yield topic, and we all should know this. Let's first start with the sensitivity. What does it mean by sensitivity? Sensitivity means the true positivity. Okay. And what does it mean by specificity? Specificity means by true negativity. Okay. Now let's first discuss the sensitivity, which is true positivity. How would you calculate the sensitivity? The formula for sensitivity is the true positive divided by total diseased. And for specificity, how specific you can say a test is in diagnosing the disease. So it is basically true negativity divided by total non-diseased or disease absent. Sensitivity, we are not talking about the sensitivity and specificity, and this is basically we are talking in terms of a tool, a diagnostic tool, or you can say a test. So when we will call a test a sensitive, and when we will call a test very specific. If we talk about sensitivity, we can test the sensitivity of a test by its true positivity. How much out of total disease person, how much of total disease sample, how much person the scale is making the scale is detecting, truly detecting those who have the disease. Okay, for example, if we talk about sensitivity, it is basically a formula, it is basically a ratio of true positive divided by total disease. That means how much people a test can diagnose out of the total disease person. The total disease is A plus C, and the number of people in which the disease is present and they are positive for the test, that is basically A, which is true positive. So the formula of this would be A by A plus C. Similarly, if we talk about the specificity means how much test is able to detect truly negative people out of total non-diseased patient. Okay, so the formula of this would be D by D, B plus D. Okay, D by B plus D. This is basically what sensitivity and specificity.
Yes.
Okay, thing which you should remember is that a highly sensitive test, if negative, rules out the disease, and if a highly specific test, if positive, rule in the disease. Okay, now we have another thing, which is accuracy. Now what is accuracy? Accuracy means, accuracy is basically, the formula of accuracy is number of all correct hits divided by number of total hits. What does it mean? It means by number of all correct hits. What are all correct hits? A means true positive. They are positive on test and they have the disease present. And D are true negative, that they are testing negative on the test and they don't have the disease. So the number of all correct hit means A, which are true positive, plus B, which are true negative, divided by the total number of hits. The total number of hits are A
plus B plus C plus
P plus D. Okay. So the truth lies in diagonal. A plus B. Sorry. 1 second, guys.
A plus D.
Plus D. It is A plus D. Sorry. A plus D
Yes.
divided by A plus B plus C plus D. Okay. Now, the thing I would like you to remember is that accuracy, specificity, and sensitivity, they have nothing to do with the prevalence. They do not depend on the prevalence. Okay. This is all about sensitivity and specificity. We have discussed the accuracy, and now we are discussing some other things. We have discussed sensitivity, we have discussed specificity, we have discussed accuracy, and now we are discussing the positive predictive value and negative predictive value. Positive predictive value, which is also known as PPV, and negative predictive value, which is NPV. What is positive predictive value? Positive predictive value is basically positive predictive value. It basically it tells you, it gives you the information about the chance of having the disease if tested.
Positive.
Okay.
Positive.
Okay. And what is the formula of positive predictive disease according to the, you will always, extract out the formula from this table. So you should have this table in your mind. Okay. So what is the formula of positive predictive value? The formula of positive predictive value is basically true positive divided by total
Test
number.
positive.
Okay. Now what is true positive? You can see A divided by how many number of positive do we have? A plus B.
A plus B.
Right? A plus B. Similarly, if we talk about NPV, what is NPV? It gives you the information about the chance of not having the disease if negative. Okay. About the chance of not having the disease if negative. And what is it? It is true negative divided by total number of negative.
Negative.
Now see, what is true negative? D divided by total number of true
C plus
negative.
D.
Total number of negative, C plus D.
C plus D.
Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Now, in contrast to sensitivity, specificity, and accuracy, which have no relation with the prevalence, the PPV and NPV depends on the prevalence. You will just have to remember this. Okay. So just remember this. Is this clear? So we have discussed sensitivity, specificity, accuracy, positive predictive value, and negative predictive value. Another value which we can find out is basically what? Likelihood ratio. Now, what is likelihood ratio? It is basically likelihood ratio of a positive or a negative test. What is likelihood ratio? Likelihood ratio, the formula of likelihood ratio is basically of a positive test. Let's first discuss the likelihood ratio of a positive test. Okay. The formula for likelihood ratio of positive test is, what is it? It is A by A plus C, which is what? Sensitivity divided by B by B plus D, which is what? 1 minus specificity. See, if you measure B by B plus D, D by B plus D was specificity, but if you do B by B plus D, it would be 1 minus specificity. So, in other words, in easy words, the formula of likelihood ratio of positive test is sensitivity divided by 1 minus specificity. Okay. Similarly, if we talk about likelihood ratio of, when we will solve the questions, you will have idea what are these things. Likelihood ratio. The likelihood ratio of negative test. What is the value of likelihood ratio of negative test? It is basically sensitivity. The sensitivity would always be on the top. Just remember this thing. But this time it would be 1 minus sensitivity divided by specificity. Okay. Always remember, for likelihood ratio, the sensitivity would always remain on the top. Okay. Sensitivity will always remain on the top.